In a setback to Udhayanidhi Stalin, the Supreme Court has now wrapped the DMK sign and Tamil Nadu leader over remarks against Sanatana Dharma that sparked a major controversy but resulted in no remorse or apology by Udhayanidhi or the DMK. Udhayanidhi had approached the Supreme Court seeking to consolidate the FIRs which have been filed against him in various states. However, the DMK leader was rebuked by the Apex Court, which said that Udhayanidhi has abused Article 19(1)(a) and Article 25 of the Constitution already pertaining to freedom of speech and expression, and has now returned to the court to abuse Article 32, which pertains to the rights of an individual to approach the Supreme Court for the enforcement of his fundamental rights. Justice Datta expressed his disapproval on Udhayanidhi's remarks against Sanatana Dharma, saying that he is not a layman, he is a minister and he must know the consequences of his words. Udhayanidhi, remember, had last year compared Sanatana Dharma to dengue and malaria and said that it should not just be opposed but must be eradicated. Despite complaints and furore against his insensitive comments, Udhayanidhi defended himself and his opinion. The DMK did not apologize for what was said, nor was any action taken against Udhayanidhi. He is the son of Tamil Nadu's current Chief Minister Jr Stalin and will in all probability succeed his father as the face of the DMK, which is a major regional political player. So while that is happening in Tamil Nadu, interesting developments have taken place in Madhya Pradesh, where controversial BJP leader and MP Sadhvi Pragya Thakur has been denied a ticket from Bhopal. She is a sitting member of parliament but will not be running for elections again, at least not on a BJP ticket. Pragya Thakur says her own controversial statements have not pleased the Prime Minister in the past and that she will not be forgiven for them. Pragya Thakur viewers had called Mahatma Gandhi's assassin Nathuram Godse a true patriot in 2019. Back then, Prime Minister Modi had called the comments disgusting and deplorable and had also clearly stated that he will not be able to forgive Thakur from his heart regardless of her apology. 5 years later, the BJP has in all likelihood decided to not bring Sadhvi Pragya back to the parliament. Keeping the politics and political implications and political mathematics of these decisions aside, something crucial may be happening, and until we look at both events together, we will not be able to understand the larger implications. All political leaders at the end of the day are human beings capable of making awful comments and then presenting justifications for the same. Sometimes those comments are personal thoughts, others are unfortunately politically charged and motivated and hope to keep society divided. But because actions speak louder than words, it is what a political party does in response to such motor-mouth leaders that really needs to be examined and kept in mind. Are you rewarded for being divisive or punished? The DMK has taken no accountability for the words of Udhayanidhi, and the BJP, on the other hand, has denied a ticket to Sadhvi Pragya. What really is the message then of both the sides? In a democracy, as voters, we may think that we wield the ultimate power, but that's only true to a large extent. Many times, a lot of people joke about having to choose the best amongst a pool of mediocre leaders. So we may not be able to decide exactly who comes to power, but the quality of the leadership ultimately is with the political party. Does the BJP giving the boot to Sadhvi Pragya in Madhya Pradesh signal a much needed change where we, the voters, deserve leaders with vision, confidence and clarity and will no longer fall for those whose only credentials are controversies and hate speeches? What do these decisions then really reflect? We take this conversation forward. I have with me on the broadcast Syed Abbas, Hemant Bhatt and Professor Madhav Nalapat with us as well. Let me begin this conversation with Professor Nalapat. Professor Nalapat, firstly, sir, I'd like to understand from you, what do you make of now the Supreme Court, in fact, rebuking an Udhayanidhi Stalin, saying that you should really apply some mind before making such statements? And how is it that you are not aware that if you say such things, they will have consequences?
Devika, I want to point out that both Sadhvi Pragya is a member of parliament and Udhayanidhi Stalin is a member of the assembly and as deputy chief minister, no less, of Tamil Nadu. They have signed sworn oaths. They have given a sworn oath to defend and protect the Constitution of India. Well, I would like to say that what Sadhvi Pragya said is completely repugnant to the Constitution of India. And if I may say so, I would like to say I'm delighted that she has been denied a ticket. I think it's a very good decision, absolutely, because we are a country where all, as Dr. Mohan Bhagwat said, the DNA of every Indian citizen has got the Vedic, the Mughal, and the Western influence. All of us on this program have the three influences inside us, as do all the rest of our 1.4 billion people. Now, when you are sworn on oath to defend and protect the Constitution of India and to defend and protect India, and you are calling more than 80, 83, 84, 85, 83% of the people vermin that should be eliminated and that should be killed. Well, look, he's an adult. He's not a little child. I can understand little child, maybe a teenager. Udhayanidhi Stalin, as far as I know, is not a teenager. Otherwise, he would not have been, in the assembly, and he would not have been appointed by the chief minister. I hope there are other reasons besides the fact that he is his son, that Stalin has appointed him. Ministers, deputy chief ministers should be appointed with great care. For example, in Karnataka, D.K. Shivakumar is appointed, deputy chief minister because D.K. Shivakumar is a very, very strong component of the Congress party. It's not that he's the Mr. Siddaramaia's, son or something like that. I think it's very important to understand that this is absolutely inexcusable what Udhayanidhi did. And either you have to give the argument that he's completely ignorant of anything to do with Sanatana Dharma, which is very odd, frankly, that he has studied nothing about Sanatana Dharma, nothing at all. Sanatana Dharma is a universal faith. It encompasses everybody. It says every path to the Almighty is valid, provided you as an individual believe that others have a right to their own paths to the Almighty. It is a very epitome of tolerance. And what Udhayanidhi said is the very epitome of intolerance. I'd like to say I was shocked then and I'm shocked now. And I am really surprised a leader of the maturity of Stalin, who is the son of Kalaignar Karunanidhi, one of the great leaders of Tamil Nadu, who was appointed by Annadurai. I remember long back, C.N. Annadurai, Kanchipuram Natarajan Annadurai, he chose Karunanidhi. And he chose him for various reasons. Now, the son of Karunanidhi is tolerating this kind of, I don't want to use any descriptive word, let the judiciary do that. But frankly, I don't believe that this gentleman has a right to be in the Tamil Nadu Assembly or to be Deputy Chief Minister or anything to do, or even a Deputy Secretary or whatever in any government in a state or a panchayat, because he has completely gone beyond the pale, as has Sadhvi Pragya. Sadhvi Pragya has paid a price. Udhayanidhi also needs to pay a price, and it is up to Chief Minister Stalin to ensure that that price is paid.
Okay, Himanshu, but bringing you into the conversation, I want to understand your point of view and perspective as well. The fact that BJP, one can also argue, quite honestly, that if there are leaders, political leaders who make statements at rallies or anywhere for that matter, that a party does have immediate power or the right to take immediate action as well. One could perhaps make that argument in the case of a Sadhvi Pragya, that if the party did not like what she had said back in 2019 itself, why allow her a seat in the parliament for 5 years thereon? But keeping that argument aside for just a moment, the fact that you have denied now a ticket to a Sadhvi Pragya, what really then is the message?
The message is very, very clear. After 75 years in Amrit Kal, Indian democracy is maturing. You have to understand that, and you have to have the leaders of the value with you, who will take the right decision at the right time. and send a very stern message. Now Lok Sabha elections are coming. There are going to be so many loose cannons in all parties, irrespective of political affiliations. Nobody is waiting. Nobody holds their word when it comes to election. Now people will be scared. People will really be scared. And on the other side, I remember a comment of what Chief Justice said once. We are, after all, the reflection of the society. And the comments which came today are no less than that. I look at it that way. Udhayanidhi Stalin might think so many things. But in this country, on the name of democracy, we have let freedom of speech and expression go too far. In a democracy, as you have your own rights, a right to freedom and speech and expressions, the same way you have your duties. When you swear on oath and take a position of the government, you have your duties to be discharged. And when you follow it, you need to pay the price. So both the decisions I am looking at very, very simply, that democracy is really maturing. And people need to be told this. Because what happens is, it's something like, today was a double whammy as far as judiciary is concerned. You might feel I am digressing a little bit, but this adds to that other decision which Supreme Court gave today. Launch Rushwat, bribery. If a Babu does the bribery, Babu takes money, or someone does it outside, he is not protected. But if your MP is elected representative under the oath takes that is not punishable because he is privileged. Now that also is taken out by Supreme Court today. So you will have examples like Mahua Moitra and all that, having sleepless nights. That's going to come. And that's going to happen, and that's good for democracy. And that's why I started with that Indian democracy started maturing.
Right.
We exactly know what we want and where we want to go. And there are people, we should not lose that hope. There are people who will show you the right way and the right path through such landmark decisions. And through such landmark decisions in political field also. Now this time you might have leaders, in political rallies holding their tongue, holding their mouth. This will happen because otherwise they know that their leaders will take them for a ride, and that ride will be in oblivion. That's what I need to say.
Okay. Syed Asad Abbas, just your thoughts as well. Because this is a much larger conversation beyond the DMK and the BJP as well. But do you agree somewhere where Himanshu Bhatt says that at least perhaps this is a beginning, or there are signs of the democracy maturing, A? And secondly, will society has society also matured?
Devika, I've always believed with great power comes great responsibility and equal accountability. Therefore,
Yes.
leaders, be it Udhayanidhi Stalin or also, as a matter of fact, Pragya Thakur, they need to be careful. They're people's elected representatives. So that responsibility, if shouldered upon you, you need to have the equivalence of accountability. So therefore, I truly believe and hail the Supreme Court's verdict that has come through, and rightly so. Udhayanidhi Stalin has been brought up in house of politics, who Professor beautifully articulated Nalapat Saab about a leader like Karunanidhi and his father, who's a chief minister, Mr. M.K. Stalin, and now to Udhayanidhi. There is absolutely no need whatsoever, no need to call the Sanatana Dharma or anybody who follows it to be eradicated and so on and so forth. I've learned such beautiful things from my friends who follow Sanatana Dharma. Sanatana Dharma teaches to be tolerant. Sanatana Dharma teaches to be loving and caring towards the mankind and humankind. I will tell you, I've gone to a Hindu school, a Christian convent, and many places of spiritual gatherings, and I've learned the Gayatri mantra, which taught me Om Bhur Bhurotsvaha Tatsavitur Varenyam Bhargo Deva Sadimahi Diyo Nyona Prachodayat. I think that is the right way to go. Calling or denigrating a religion is absolutely wrong. I truly believe that the Supreme Court must deal with Udhayanidhi Stalin with iron hands, because this should set the precedent in such a way that no political leader whatsoever is able to denigrate a religion or hurt the sentiments of any of the people, irrespective of the political parties across the party lines. The matter has been adjourned. I'm certainly looking forward to the 15th of March when it will come through. Also, as a matter of fact, what happened with Pragya Singh Thakur, I've been a critic many a times of the Bharatiya Janata Party, but let me tell you, they have set the right example. Those who call Nathuram Godse a true patriot have been shown the door. Brij Bhushan Singh has not been given a ticket either. I think this is a wonderful example. I think Modi ji is truly setting a benchmark here. The Bharatiya Janata Party is setting a benchmark. Those divisive leaders, those leaders who do sexual offenses against women, those who do not treat the people rightly, those who cross the line will be punished and brought to the books. I'd say Derai Durustai, it has come in a bit late. The remark was made in 2019. It's been a long time, but koi nahi. At least action to liya. That is more important here. I think these two examples have set the precedence right. And I think that is the way to go, because today I feel proud from my country, which is being seen as a Vishwa Guru. And when you look at a Vishwa Guru like India, which nowhere in the world you will see, Devika ji, as it's said by Allama Iqbal, Sari jahan se acha, Hindustan hamara, hum bulbule hain iske, ye gulsita hamara. No land you will see such churches, temples, mosques, gurudwaras coexisting in a very beautiful manner. It is indeed India. And India so. The same reason why Modi ji is being seen as a world leader and we together are being seen as a force to reckon with. This is the new India that the world has stood up and taken notice. And rightfully, Modi ji and the able government of the BJP doing this action, I think they're winning hearts galore in India and outside India. So yes, it's a big thumbs up.
Okay, Professor Nalapat, on that thought of, Syed Asadabad saying that the BJP is perhaps setting the tone, I just want to understand from you, your perspective on the same as well, that do you somewhere feel, yes, India has transformed, people are also changing, our outlook is changing, a lot of that change, a lot of people credit it to the vision of the BJP in the past 10 years, so on and so forth. I don't want to get into that, but largely do you feel somewhere then certain parties like a DMK or even for that matter a Congress party that for many years did not take any action against many of its motor-mouth leaders, are they not being able to understand that perhaps society is also maturing? The fact that we are today having this conversation on national television because we think it's an important conversation to be had, it's important to highlight the fact that if you are a controversial leader, you necessarily will not be seen in the next decade or so anywhere near any sort of power, hopefully. We're having those sort of conversations at our homes as well. Do you feel that society maybe is maturing and that push also has to come from political parties, but there are certain parties that are not really recognizing that, and it could possibly hamper the speed at which we as a society can evolve beyond the economics of it? Yes, economically we're doing really, really well, but I'm saying societal change really has to come from very strong leaders presenting very strong examples. So when a Narendra Modi goes out and he works and you see him somehow working 24/7, right? There's a leader that people look at him and they ask questions like, when does this man sleep? It seems like he doesn't sleep at all. And he's working 24/7. So that gives another boost to people who want to work hard. They say that if my Prime Minister can work so hard, let me emulate him. Let me see what I can take away from that. So just from that, it's a slightly philosophical perspective here, but I want to understand what you feel.
Devika, Narendra Modi is proud of being an Indian. Very proud of that. Narendra Modi is proud of 1.4 billion Indians, and most importantly, he has confidence in them. The first thing he did was remove this need for a gazetted officer to attest a certificate of a citizen. He said the citizen's own certificate is enough. Why do you need a gazetted officer? Don't we trust our citizens? The colonial administration never trusted the people of India. Unfortunately, for a long time, the governance construct also never trusted the people of India. Now we have digital systems coming in, and digital systems, I can tell you, are much more friendly in terms of the equality of the citizen and in terms of the equal interface between government and the citizens. So that pride in India is there in everybody. Both Himanshu and my very dear friend, Mr. Abbas, both of them, you can see, Syed and Himanshu, how proud they are of being Indian. And number one. And number two, the fact is that the being Bharatiya means being Bharatiya and seeing all the 1.4 billion people of India as fellow Bharatiyas. So small, matters of region, matters of community, all these other matters should just flow out of the drain, because we are all Bharatiyas and we are proud of being Bharatiyas. As has correctly been said by Syed, there is no country like Bharat. There is no country like India. I'm not worried that foreign people call us, India. But when Indians say, we are Indians, there's a problem. A German says, I'm a Deutschlander. A Japanese says, I'm a Nippongo. He never says, I'm a Japanese or a German to himself. We should understand, we may be Indian to the outside world, we are all Bharatiyas. And I lay stress on the word all. And I think what has happened in the case Sadhvi Pragya, she forgot that. She forgot that all. And she said, some are Bharatiyas. No, all are Bharatiyas. And as far as this gentleman is concerned, Mr. Udhayanidhi Stalin, even ignorance cannot forgive the way he has insulted the Sanatana Dharma, the whole concept of Dharma. And it shows, frankly, that this gentleman is the opposite of that. He's very intolerant. And to talk of mosquitoes and all these kind of things, it is, does he know what he's saying? And such a man has been appointed a member of the assembly. Such a man has been made deputy chief minister of Tamil Nadu. I again request, Chief Minister Stalin. I knew his father when I was a very young man. I have immense respect for Karnanidhi. And when I was a teenager, I also met the great, Kanjivaram Natarajan Annadurai. In the name of Annadurai and Karnanidhi, take the action needed against Udhayanidhi. Don't let the fact that he's your son stand in the way. Don't let dynasty stand in the way of doing to him what needs to be done. Any individual who has broken the oath of office like this deserves no such position, high or low, in the constitutional order.
Absolutely, Himanshu, but we want to understand your perspective on this as well. Do you feel that somewhere then some of these political parties are maybe out of touch with how Indian society perhaps wants to progress, wherein people will laud the fact that the BJP is not giving a ticket to controversial leaders?
I'll digress a little to explain this, what you have asked. I'll take two examples of, the real pluralism, which is Sanatan. Real pluralism, which is Sanatan. See, we had a huge rally yesterday in Gandhi Maidan of opposition, this so-called Indie Alliance. And wherein Lalu in his chaste Hindi said, नरेंद्र मोदी की मां मर गई, उसने दाढ़ी बाल नहीं निकाला, he did not shave. But he did not realize that it is the same Narendra Modi who set an example that on the day of the demise of his mother, and I truly remember we were on the same channel, Professor Nalapat was also there with me, and we were talking about it. In few hours' time, he was up onto his work. He did not take even a 24 hours. That is setting an example. And that is pluralism. A pluralism in real sense of it, you have to show it. And you have to take action. Now, there were not many people, People might have laughed when Lalu spoke that because it is in its chest Hindi, people have laughter. But after that, how many of them would go and again vote for Lalu? I have a very serious doubt. There will be many. So little political with this, but then what I think about these things is, on one side you have Udhayanidhi Stalin, who is supposed to be the heir apparent. And it is said that Mr. Stalin's health is not good. So he wanted to make his presence felt. and he insulted Sanatan. But he forgot that is in his own house, people follow Hindu religion. And Hindu religion means it's Sanatan. We are talking of all inclusiveness. We are all Bharatiyas, Indians, Hindus, Hindustanis. See, that the word came from that. So you have to understand this.
Yes.
Basically, in this plurality, in this plural culture, in diversity, that is where Bharat lives. India lives for the foreigners. And that's why they are astonished. When they go to Mumbai, they find something different. When they go to Delhi, they find chaat and chole kulche. When you go to Mumbai, they find pani puris and bel puris.
Okay.
So that is plurality. And we absorb all of them because me and you enjoy everything of that.
Okay.
Yes,
Syed, okay, I'm running out of time. Syed, I'll leave the last word with you. But I also want to understand from you, Syed, then what does, what really is this a reflection of in terms of the sort of politics that certain parties then want to play? Because you have a young man like an Udhayanidhi Stalin making these sort of comments which possibly would not be expected. As Mr. Hemant was pointing out, this example of a Lalu Yadav. Now, Lalu Yadav also has been known for a very long time to be making these sort of comments. So somewhere, whatever he says, a lot of people probably don't even take it very seriously anymore. He probably has reduced himself to not being taken seriously because of the way he speaks.
I think,
but an Udhayanidhi Stalin as a young leader hoping to lead Tamil Nadu, maybe even hoping to lead India one day, making these sort of comments, why do you think they feel the need to then resort back to the sort of politics we should have left far behind?
Devika, speaking to you honestly, I don't think leaders who speak that language should never lead India, especially like Udhayanidhi Stalin. I don't think we need people like that. I think we need people who speak of inclusivity.
We definitely don't. What I'm saying is that he may hold those aspirations, right, for himself.
Well, whatever little I know, being from South, I don't think so. He knows his ability and capability. हिंदुस्तान तो दूर की बात है, तमिलनाडु ढंग से रख लें, यही बड़ी बात हो जाएगी उदयनिधि साहब के लिए. I truly believe that the youth of India, the youth population is 65% and above, and this is not the young India that we look forward to. Young India is what we see is, which is a rising future of our beautiful nation. A young India truly remarks the beauty of this nation and takes it ahead. A young India does not speak divisive language. This is not the India that I would aspire for, or my contemporaries like Udhayanidhi or any other such political leaders aspire for. I think the way ahead, Devika, is to take strict action against them from the Supreme Court, from not just the Supreme Court, as a matter of fact, even society. Society at large must not vote for people who want to divide. Rather, come on the front for people who bring about an essence of unity. I think that is the future for India.
Okay. I thank all of our panelists for joining us on the broadcast to take this discussion forward. Sometimes it's important for us to have some of these philosophical conversations as well, because they do, like I said, viewers in the beginning, have much larger implications for our future.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.